What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Yeah. Man, I had went to bed. Came right back down to my recording studio because I was still doing research, and Tanya Blount. I was going over all the artists that been signed to Bad Boy, right? All the artists, the ones we don't know about and everything, trying to see hear their stories basically. And because a couple of people said all the artists that was on Bad Boy, when they left Bad Boy, they careers just went downhill. So next thing you know, Tanya Blount came up again. Now, Tanya Blount is from my area. For y'all who don't know, I did a video on Tanya Blount. Stacey Lattisaw. I played in the band with Stacey Lattisaw's husband, and Stacey was talking about a lot of things that she's seen in the music business when she was doing her thing. Tanya Blount was in a little girl band, her little high school band. You know, they just playing around, but she can sing. This one girl can really sing. So I kind of came to her and was like, "Yo, I can introduce you to some real people that can help you with a singing career." And she said, "Oh well, when I get out of school, that's when I'm gonna start my music career." I mean, like she knew. But anyway, fast forward a little bit, and she started working with my same people that I was going to introduce her to. I didn't have to introduce her to them. She got with them, and next, she seen me. "Oh, what's up, Mike?" And all this stuff. So we talking back and forth, but I'm the person in the background. I'm not pulling those strings. I'm not I'm learning from these guys, right? I'm learning. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just learning how to mix and master, make beats, all this stuff I'm learning. So Tanya was learning from her producers. These two guys was the producers. It's hard doing this, y'all, because I don't have permission to say their name. I just said Stacey Lattisaw's name and didn't even ask her for her permission. But Kevin, who is Stacey's husband, was one of the producers, and that's the only name I'm gonna say, man. And rest in peace to Scotty Beats. All of us was in the same camp doing music and stuff. And I think, it's not clear and it's not written because of Through the Rain and a lot of the songs that we worked on. I didn't do a lot of the music. I probably was going to get coffee for the producers, but but anyway, guys, look, this dropped now it's 2 hours ago. It was an hour ago when he dropped this. Shout out to Jamil, aka Jamil. Jamal. Okay. Cool brother, man. Y'all go check his channel out, man. Cool brother. So this is coming off of his channel and everything. So without any further ado, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell a couple of stories of some of the things that I remember that happened with Tanya Blount, even at the concerts and different things that, and she listened. She was a listener. She would try it your way first, and then she would say, "Well, forget. Now I'm gonna do it my way," and that's what happened to her life. So let's check this bad boy.
This video here, I never heard of this woman, Tanya Blount.
He never heard of her.
Reveals how Diddy made her homeless.
See, doing this, all you have to do is be yourself. You don't have to stretch the truth and try to make yourself look like a big wig, because it shows right on your face when you do that. So yeah. I'm going to be stopping on a lot of this. Here we go.
She rejected the freak offs. We always talk about how when you don't comply, when you say no, how you get blacklisted. I don't know if she's like a rapper or singer, but Like I said, there's those people who are like stars. Then those people you be like, damn, what happened to them? They were so talented, you know? Because when you look back
That must be his
at
mic.
that song Cry with Jaguar Wright and Jay-Z, he stopped performing it with her and started performing it with Mary J. Blige. So we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
So Tanya Blount is one of those singers who should have blown up, but did not. And do you know who we have to thank for this? Once again, Diddy. Allegedly, she also refused to party the way Diddy wanted her to party. And just like many other artists who were hit with the bad boy curse, she ended up broke. Child, it's a lot happening with Tanya, and as always, I will be breaking it all down. Okay, just for a bit of background about how she got into the industry, Tanya was born to an Afro-Panamanian mother.
Oh, that's her from Sister Act.
Yeah, when she got to deal with Sister Act, just to let y'all know, Whoopi Goldberg, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. Whoopi Goldberg was putting on Sister Act, and then she was doing Sister Act 2, and she was saying that she wanted to do work with what the younger generation that had some real talent. And when she heard Tanya Blount sing and the way she was ripping, the girl can rip. Her and her brother used to do a lot of ripping. I'm gonna do a lot of talking on this one because this is my girl. This was our ticket. Tanya was supposed to be our ticket to be big, like a Bad Boy Records and stuff. So yeah, this is a little touching to me. But anyway, at first we got news that she was gonna get the lead part. She was going to get the lead part. And once everybody knew what was going on and stuff, and then Lauryn Hill stepped in. I'm not saying she took it from her, because this is what the camp was saying. You know, Lauryn Hill has more experience at that time. It's better for the marketing promotion, because more people, they knew when Lauryn Hill was on the screen, they knew who she was. They didn't know who Tanya Blount was. You know what I'm saying? But we went to the premiere of the movie. We went to the premiere of the movie. I remember I was sick. I think I had strep throat. I can't remember if I had strep throat, because I used to catch that all the time. But I was sick. And my father went with me. Rest in peace to my dad. That's why I always look up. My brother was a drummer, and my dad, I'm looking up to them, saying I'm doing my best to keep things going. So, long story short, Tanya ended up getting the supporting role that she has, and it was no bad feelings about it and everything. We was just happy. We was happy. The people I hung around Tanya Blount, her brother Willie Blount, her cousin, everybody. We was happy to get any bone thrown at us. We never threw shade. Nobody in our camp threw shade and said, "Oh, that's messed up," or "Now you taking my music," and stuff like that. The people I hung around was nothing like that. So I just want to put that out there to let you know what type of person Tanya was. I mean, is, because she not dead. I mean, she, back then. Here we go.
Right here.
And as always, I will be breaking it all down. Okay, just for
that picture right here. Her and Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill, yep.
Oh, okay.
bit of background about how she got into the industry. Tanya was born to an Afro-Panamanian mother and an African-American father, and she attended Baptist services on Sundays and attended Catholic school where she sang in the choirs. She also attended Morgan State University, where she majored in psychology and also sang in the university choir. Now, for those who recall, Tanya came to prominence in the film Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, in which she featured as the character Tanya, and her performance of His Eyes on the Sparrow with Lauryn Hill was a particularly notable moment. In fact, according to Tanya, that movie is what really changed her life.
Miss Tanya Trotter, formerly Tanya Blount, that was my name when I did Sister Act 2, and my name of the movie was simply Tanya.
Oh my God!
Oh my God, look. She's seeing Lauryn Hill after all these years.
Other than the remarkable performance in Sister Act.
Yeah, that was them meeting years later. You know, that's amazing. Oh my God, look at this. I can't believe this, man. I'm sorry, yeah, I'm going back down memory lane. Oh my gracious, man.
Tanya was actually doing pretty well for herself because her debut album, Natural Thing, was released in 1994 and peaked at number 58 on the US R&B/hip hop albums chart. And the album's first single, I'm Gonna Make You Mine, peaked at number 57 on the US R&B/hip hop songs chart. Through the Rain followed, peaking at number 27 on the US R&B/hip hop songs chart.
Through the Rain. I was there when we was recording the Through the Rain. And I remember Stacey Lattisaw did a lot of background singing parts. And I think Willie, I don't know if it was on that song, her brother Willie did some background or did some vocals. Everybody was helping with the vocals and stuff. And back then we didn't have all these computers and technology and stuff. So we would sample the chorus. Once you work on your chorus and work on the chorus and everything, then you stereo sample, so you can get the stereo sound and everything, and you would play this through the rain. It's done. We would play it so they can place throughout the song. And I remember, as a producer, Kevin saying that, man, we should have fixed that. The last one, Through the Rain, the hook, the sample was off a little bit, and I could never hear it. And nobody noticed it, but he kept saying, "Oh man, it's off. You can't tell it's off." And I'm like, "Nah, it to me it wasn't off."
Single, I'm Gonna Make You Mine, peaked at number 57 on the US R&B/hip hop songs chart. Through the Rain followed, peaking at number 27 on the US R&B/hip hop songs chart, and became her first appearance on the US Hot 100, where it peaked at number 90. And the third single, Hold On, peaked at number 66 on the US R&B/hip hop songs chart.
Hold On. I know Willie Blunt did some vocals on Hold On. When I think it was Hush Records. I think the name of the record label she was signed to when we released all this was Hush Records. And just to let y'all know, man, the producers or the song that get the first single is like they get more. They ranked more. So we was Through the Rain was gonna come out first. Then all of a sudden, because of politics and stuff, I'm gonna put that out there. This other song went, but it sure is funny how Through the Rain and Hold On was done by, when I say us, I'm talking about my camp. I didn't have anything to do. I had a little teeny bit to do. I think I hit the record button a couple of times while somebody recording the background vocals, But long story short, we was a team. So I'm just going to say we, even though I ain't do no music, right? I'm letting y'all know, real talk.
1994.
But anyway, Hold On. I didn't really like that song until it started playing on the radio, and I kept, hold on. That thing goes. Here we go.
Tanya also released a holiday single titled Remember Love. And in 1995, she received a nomination for Best New Artist at the Soul Train Music Awards. Naturally, this was someone a lot of record labels wanted to sign, including Bad Boy. And I don't know what Diddy said to Tanya, but in 1996, Tanya signed to Bad Boy Entertainment and started the recording of her second album, writing for herself and other Bad Boy artists. Right. I know that if she knew that Diddy was going to screw her over, she would not have signed with Bad Boy.
That's the key right there, man. We didn't know. Nobody knew. We was happy that she got signed to Bad Boy. We was happy. This area right here where I live at and everything, people was knowing, man. I remember, I'm gonna talk about one of the concerts we did with. It's a shame the way people do business in this business. It's a shame the way people do business in this business. And we always try to point Tanya and any other artist. I'm not even gonna leave all the artists that did not make it in our camp. We try to point them in the best scenario for what a real recording artist was supposed to do. Here we go.
Because there are contracts involved in such things, she ended up being stuck with someone who literally destroyed her career. Well, Tanya herself said that in the beginning, Diddy was involved in the second album. But after some time, interest in the album flagged. And as a result, although years passed, only 2 songs, I Love Him and The Last Time We Made Love, were released. For someone who had released songs back to back before signing to Bad Boy,
And remember Freddie P.
You heard what the lady said from somebody that was releasing songs back to back before signing to Bad Boy. Yeah. See, the internet wasn't around and different things like that. We didn't know. All we knew was music. And this is what I keep saying is my downfall or our downfall in this area, in the D.C. Metropolitan area, Washington, D.C., is we was going up to New York. So many people going up to New York trying to get a record deal, where we should have just stayed here and figured out how to get marketing and promotion is the key. We should have stayed here and try to figure out how to market and promote ourselves to our people and get our people on board, so we would be not a New York, but we would be a Washington, D.C., our DC music and everything. And a lot of people are saying, Mike, you the one that need to do it. You could do it. And I'm like, nah, not me. I'm supposed to be behind the camera filming the person doing it, But so far, I don't know, man. What y'all think, man? Y'all let me know in the comments. There's some talent out here, man. And there's a lot of people that think they got talent and don't. But I said all that to say this. Now that the internet is here, see, a lot of artists can go independent. So let's go back over that
I Love Him
again.
and The Last Time We Made Love were released.
Watch this
For
right
someone
here.
who had released songs back to back before signing to Bad Boy,
And remember
see, that's
Freddie
an
P.
important part right there.
talked about it, how they owe him money, and they were saying something about like if they would have took them to court, they would have got like $10 million or something like that. So it's like they didn't. I think what's her name, Aubrey O'Day talked about it with Danity Kane. Yeah, man, they be doing some shady work. Man. You got to be extremely careful. My advice would be to just stay independent, because these labels, boy,
Independent. I just said that. I just said independent. And another thing is, people don't realize, because they never been to court. I used to work for a law firm also. So I'm always interested. I got a mechanical brain. I'm always interested of how things work, so to speak. So what he's just said right here, Jamil, aka Jamal, or I might have said that backwards. But the way things work, just because he just said, now, see, the listener would say, well, if we would have took him to court, we would have had 10 million. Well, take him to court and get your 10 million. That's what we heard, right? But you got to hire a lawyer. You got to have money to sue for some big money like that. You got to have money. The lawyer doesn't work for pro bono. Suppose you do all this work and somebody gonna win, somebody gonna lose. Suppose you go to court and you lose and don't win the 10,000. How the lawyer gonna get paid? What about the lawyer fees? What about going back and forth, all the time and stuff that's put in? People don't realize this. You can't just, I'ma sue, and then the money disappears. No. What life are you living in?
It was truly a huge disappointment for Tanya to release 2 songs after so many years. Tanya was also included on the label's gospel LP alongside artists B.I.G., Faith Evans, Brandy, Carl Thomas, John P. Key, Brian McKnight, Boyz II Men, and Total. And while talking about that particular album, Tanya said, I think Puffy is looking for a different way to go. He feels a responsibility to the big willies and hustlers to understand. A lot of people from the streets have a strong background in church. Maybe it's time to send the message that they can party and still love Jesus. This album was originally scheduled for release in 1997, but it was shelved indefinitely, meaning she did not have anything released from Bad Boy. So what really happened there? Why did Diddy sign her only for him to end up destroying her career? I mean, she was really promising if you ask a lot of people. Well, apparently, Tanya wanted to explore more with her career, but Diddy was not given the space or the opportunity to do that at all. Bad Boy only wanted her to do things their way, and it really frustrated her. In fact, while talking about the darkest moment of her career, this is what Tanya said. When I realized that, I did not want to do a deal, and I walked away from it. We had just recorded about 50 to 60 songs at Arista Records with Sean Combs.
I just recorded about 50 to 60 songs. Now, when Tanya speaks, she's not, it ain't like 50 or 60 songs where it's only about 10 or 20. No, it was between 50 and 60 songs, because that's what she said. It probably was 70 songs. You know what I'm saying? And she can write. Good God Almighty, that girl, she got amazing writing skill.
Everyone knows him as Diddy or Love Now. I remember going to the studio and telling my manager, I don't want to do this. I want a different style of music and legacy. Why can't we blend all these styles of music that I grew up listening to? Why do I have to do this in order to make it? I want to record something completely different. It was the hardest decision because that was how I was able to provide and take care of my family at the time. It was so hard, it broke me. It really did. I went into therapy with unaliving thoughts and even attempted to take my life, but it shaped me at the same time. After realizing that she had no future at Bad.
When I'm listening to these things, and I ran across Tanya, this was years ago, after the Bad Boy, she left the music industry, I left the music industry. I'm an armed security guard at the motor vehicle department. She was getting tags or some license work done or something. I was like, hey, y'all, she's a star. And it was like, Queen, Mike, stop. Don't say that. Tanya, how you doing? And all. So we hugging, we talking, and I'm introducing her to my supervisor and the people that work there and stuff. And pushing her to the front of the line, you know, like she a real star and everything. But I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't know that, you know, she tried to commit suicide or even had them type of thoughts or anything. We never talked. I never said anything about the music industry to her. As far as her, like, well, what happened with the Bad Boy thing? You know, you just don't do that. You don't do that. You know, so we was happy to see each other. No, we didn't exchange phone numbers. You know, just how you doing and everything. Was good to see you. How your brother doing? You know, because she know that I know her brother and everything and all that stuff. So. I never knew she was going through that stuff, man. I would love to get in touch with her now.
Bad Boy, Tanya started pursuing.
Let me start it over a little bit. Let's go back up a little bit.
Me. It really did. I went into therapy with unaliving thoughts and even attempted to take my life, but it shaped me at the same time.
Yes.
After realizing that she had no future at Bad Boy, Tanya started pursuing a release from her contract with Bad Boy Entertainment and started negotiating a settlement. Unfortunately for Tanya, it was not easy, and things became so bad because, for some reason, the curse of Bad Boy Entertainment tends to follow artists even after they leave the label. And for her, it was so bad that she even became homeless. But we all know that Tanya is not the only artist Diddy screwed over, right? Remember how we did Craig Mack?
Man, Craig Mack went to his grave mad at Bad Boy. Craig Mack told his people, told the religious people that don't let them pay for shit of mine. I don't want them to pay for nothing in my death. You gotta be mad at them. Man.
Despite Diddy saying that Craig was part of the foundation of Bad Boy, in 1995, Craig left the label with word on the street being that it was because of what he went through when he was part of the label. In fact, because of what he went through, Craig didn't even want Diddy at his funeral, and he didn't want Bad Boy contributing anything. There was also Mace, who after being ruined by Bad Boy, resurfaced as a preacher, saying that if the devil can use Diddy for his work, God can also use him to counter Diddy.
If the devil can use him aggressively, then I want you to know God could use me aggressively. I want you to also know you may not like my delivery. You might say, well, listen here, why did you say it that way? I cannot speak to people outside of the church the way I speak to people inside the church. I gotta know my audience. Isn't that what you would say if you're talking to a people? The first thing you gotta know is your audience. And I also want you to know that the thing that's really stirring up so much confusion is because for years these guys have organized a mass organized effort to slander my name behind the scenes. So every time I say something, you're just seeing my part because their part is behind the scenes.
Speaking of people turning to religion after Bad Boy, another person who followed the same route was Loon. In addition, Carl Thomas said the reason why he left Bad Boy Records was because when his brother died, Diddy called him a week later and asked him when he was returning to the studio because he had some hits for him. And he didn't even consider that his artist was still mourning the loss of his brother. There was also Lil Jerome, who also had a very promising future. But somehow, Bad Boy also managed to ruin it for him. When he was asked if it was his choice to leave the label, Jerome said, well, it's just a mixture of the growing pains and the pressure of the music business. I had a nervous breakdown, and it was in Puffy's best interest to not keep the project. In short, it wasn't his choice to leave the label, but more of a result of circumstances. According to Lil Jerome, he actually had about a good 13 songs ready for an album to come out before he had a nervous breakdown.
It was reflux, I think. Nobody really knew for sure what was going on.
Just to let the record show that it's allegations that Puffy has did some sexual intercourses with him. Can I say sexual? Some of the things you can't say on the, they teaching me, y'all. I don't know. Me, I don't hold my tongue. But it's, you got to look at this both ways, man. I'm like, well, if he in jail now, speak and say what he did, you know. But you never know the people's situation, man, and how they feel. So some people on this earth are stronger than other people, man. I just thank the Lord that I'm overly strong. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I ain't know. You know, my bad. I ain't know that I wasn't supposed to say the people's name. But shoot, it's a free world. We should be able to say and do whatever we want as long as we don't hurt others. That's it. I don't know.
Because, you know, I went to a doctor and he kind of like examined. He put stuff down like my nose. He gave me all kinds of medication. He said it was allergies and he didn't know. And then later on, actually, it wasn't until I got released from Bad Boy that I found out that it was reflux. So nobody knew what it was. I didn't know. My dad didn't know. The company didn't know. And the album just never came out. And eventually I did have a nervous breakdown.
Then there was also Day 26 that was handpicked by Diddy. And while talking about their experience, Willie Taylor accused Diddy's Making the Band of setting up artists for failure. He said, Making the Band was an experience for sure, but the platform and contracts were all set up for the failure of Hungry Talents. Learning experience. You got to understand that.
Hungry.
And I wanna jump in before he jumps in. Making the Band, I said this before, Making the Band was put together for making a band. It was going to be a band with musicians in it. And we went to New York again, and I tried out for Making the Band. And we stood in line. It was a long line of people with their instruments, bass guitar player line, a lead guitar player line, a drummer line, drumsticks, foot pedal, all this stuff. And we made it through the line like 3 or 4 hours, man. My manager, shout out to Diamond, actually went to the store, came back, bringing me food while I'm standing in line holding my guitar. Yeah, and I didn't get picked. Did not get picked, man. Everybody just knew they was gonna pick me because I was pretty good. But anyway, just let you know the trial errors of the music industry and everything. Then all of a sudden we caught word through my manager that they changing the whole platform thing anyway. They ain't even going to do the band. They just going to work with the singers and rappers. So if you would have made it, you wouldn't have been on the show anyway. So kudos to you, you know, something like that. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Hungry talents, key word right there. Hungry talents. I told you, they'll give you and put money in your face that you thought in your lifetime you would never see. Never see. You know,
that's true.
And you're going to sign your name on that dotted line. Ain't going to really read what you signing. You just see the money.
That's true. And what makes it so bad is even if you do read it, half of the words you don't even understand or know about. Yeah.
And next thing you know, they got you. You don't own the rights to the music. You know what I mean? And that money goes fast.
Well, put it to you this way. There's a catch-22 with that. You don't own the rights to the music, even your music that you did and create. You have to release the rights over to the record label so they can do this thing called a mechanical license. You know, you need a license to print it. You need a license to print it in other countries. This license says that other countries and other places can actually print this a copy of your music. I call it elevator music. When you walk into convenience stores or you're shopping at the mall and you hear the music that's playing, that's publishing. When your music is played to the public, these people know that for 24 hours in this mall, this music gonna be on rotation and your song is gonna play X amount of time per week, per month, whatever, and here's your money for that. And that goes to the they don't want to deal with an individual. They want to deal with a company that manufactured the whole thing, so to speak. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I'm talking a lot, but my goal is to try to get you guys as much information that's on my heart that I know that from all my experience in the business of music.
That money goes fast. They'll even encourage you to buy things that is going to make you look flashy and all that. So you run out of that money fast and you're willing to do anything to get more of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's what a lot of people were saying. Puff, Ja Rule, I hate to say somebody's name, but I got to give an example. Some of these people, they want to keep living that lifestyle, man. And then you turn to Puff, you be like, yo, Playboy, don't worry about it. I'm going to send you to such and such place, man, my island, man. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk about your problem, see what's going on. And he ended up, I wouldn't even call it the R word. I wouldn't even call it that because, yo, Playboy, you want this bag, you know, you're looking good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how that part goes, and I ain't trying to be in that part either. So, yeah.
That's what they do. You know, and these people be really talented too, man. A lot of them that can sing and stuff like that. They really have nice voices, man, but yeah, that's what they do.
People will do to you whatever you allow them. So don't let your passion drive you to the wrong destination. Ooh. Hashtag MTB4, Day 26 / Danny D. Kane are talented groups, but the situation in which we met was designed to fail. So yeah, Tanya's experience at Bad Boy was not new at all. Hers is just one of the many careers that Diddy managed to ruin. And when it comes to Tanya, I've had people say that Diddy was also interested in her, and because she didn't want to party, Diddy also frustrated her life and made sure she was miserable. And I know that she was invited to the party because when the allegations against Diddy came up, Tanya spoke about them during a new episode of Bunny XO's Dumb Blonde podcast and said, quote, everything has good and bad. I'm really appalled with the stuff I'm hearing about now. I had protection too. I was young, but I had a manager who told me, no, you're not going to that party. I also had God protecting me from whatever was happening. The people who experienced it, I really feel bad for them. Well, while Tanya was trying to find her footing, she eventually also met her husband, Michael Trotter. And although her career didn't become as big as it should have, at least she got something out of it courtesy of her boo, Mr. Trotter. As for how this relationship even came about, Michael grew up in Cleveland and Washington, D.C., spending time as a child in homeless shelters. Eventually,
I didn't know he was from Washington, D.C. Right around the corner. I need to go look them up. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know he was from Washington, D.C. He might know me, y'all. Real talk. I'm serious.
He found refuge in the music of Ray Charles, Johnny Cash, and Harry Belafonte. But it wasn't until he served in the Army during the Iraq War that he discovered his calling. After his commanding officer died, he was asked to write and perform songs to honor his unit's fallen hero. And that's how he found his calling. After returning from his service and launching a career in music, Michael Trotter met Tanya Blount at a festival where both were performing. And after seeing him play, Tanya ran across the field in 4-inch heels and was like, who is this guy? I have to know who he is. At the time, they exchanged numbers. He lost her phone number, but she found his number and called him. Tanya then later invited Trotter to collaborate on a project with her and her brother. And as they trained vocally, apparently there was something happening that they...
He said, Tanya and her brother. Yeah, my bad. That's close to me, y'all. That's all.
Lost her phone number, but she found his
Willie
number
Blunt.
and called
Shout
him.
out to
Tanya
Willie
then
Blunt.
later invited Trotter to collaborate on a project with her and her brother. And as they trained vocally, apparently there was something happening that they both were trying to deny, and it was creating this kind of tug of war. They ended up getting married in 2011 and formed the War and Treaty 3 years later. Now, although they had a lot of tough times together and were both even homeless at some point, they found purpose with their music, and they have been trying their best to be successful. A lot of the War and Treaty's music is especially about trying to turn suffering into hope, and beginning with their 2017 EP Down to the River and their album Healing Tide a year later, the War and Treaty have developed a following for their mix of Americana, gospel, rhythm and blues, and pop, as well as the duo's powerful singing. Their song 5 More Minutes was actually born out of a dark time in 2017 when Trotter was contemplating unaliving himself in an incident that involved the intervention of his wife and the police in Michigan, where the couple were living at the time. While remembering During that moment, Trotter said, Tanya got down right between my legs on her knees and grabbed me by my face and said, I know you have a time frame to end your life today. I can see it all over your face. But if you would just give me 5 more minutes to love you, I promise I'll give you a reason to change your mind. The pleading and the begging was replacing that sorrow and anxiety. I could tell you now, I'm still living in those 5 minutes. I was being reminded that in the midst of your pain, hurt, and sorrow, you still got 5 more minutes left, and I'm gonna love the hell out of you. Well, they were out.
Wow. Can you imagine? The more research I do, the more I learn about the little things that I didn't know about my friends. These are people I call my friends and what they going through their life. Wow. Can you imagine that? Tanya tried to commit suicide. Now you sitting here trying to convince your husband. I know that you are really down right now. I know you talking about or thinking about committing suicide. I can see it in your face. That's how close we're connected. That's deep. That's deep. But if you just give me 5 minutes, I promise you. Good God Almighty, I need a woman like that. Tanya, you got a sister? No, I'm just playing. That's deep, man. That's real deep. 5
Anxiety.
minutes.
I could tell you now, I'm still living in those 5 minutes. I was being reminded that in the midst of your pain, hurt, and sorrow, you still got 5 more minutes left, and I'm gonna love the hell out of you. Well, they were obviously able to work through it, and they have a beautiful family. I can actually say that currently, Tanya is doing relatively okay. But do you believe she would have had a better career had she not gotten involved with Diddy? Did the bad boy curse derail her career like it did for so many others? Let me know what you think in the comments section below.
It's tough, man, because like I said, when you're trying to make it, it all looks good, it all sounds good, what they pitch to you. But I feel like there has been enough people who have like, I wonder if people be like, I know they said it's bad, but it can't be that bad. And they get up getting involved and it's worse than what they thought, you know? But my whole thing is like, I feel like there has been enough people to come out and say, like, don't do this, don't go there, don't get involved with these people. But I just, it's just the fame, man. The fame be getting to people, man, and they just want to be famous. You know, I mean, she was on Sister Act 2. I know she's looking at Lauryn Hill and her career, you know, and all this stuff. And it's just like, you got the voice, you got the talent. It's like, why can't I make it? But like I said, a lot of these people don't just make it on their talent alone. You know, a lot of them are forced into these deals. So again, man, just surround yourself with the right people, man. Surround yourself with the right people. You know,
I feel as though, I'm gonna wait till he finish. Tanya was surrounded
so many people, bro,
by the right people.
Gotten done dirty by this industry, you know. And then there's some people who thrive in it because they are soulless, you know. All right, peace out. Thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff, man. Peace out.
I think that I really think Tanya was surrounded by the right people. She saw things. I remember seeing her see things, and she would turn and look at, I would see her turn and look in our direction, but she was looking at Kevin. And I would look at Kevin, and I could see Kevin go, like guiding her, and she would turn back around and not say nothing, like, I don't know, in a choir type thing or whatever. They coached her, they trained her in a positive way, you know, for lack of a better word, not training her how to jump rope, you know, jump through hoops. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to really, really, really watch your wording. But anyway, one story I want to tell. So I think because of the people she had around her brother, her parents, her producers here back in DC. Now, I don't know what was happening in Bad Boy. She knew we had no Kevin was married to Stacy Lattisaw. Stacy would come to the studio. Stacy would come and bring food and drinks and everything. It was a family, man. The band we played with, the mother and father, Kevin mother and father was the managers of the band. We was a family. There was no bull. None of that stuff, man. If we got caught using profanity, we would get fined. You fined, you got fined. So all the people in the band go back and we praise and worship. Shout out to rest in peace to Mr. Jackson, Miss Jackson. Shout out to Miss Jackson, Kevin parents, and rest in peace to all of his brothers and sisters who passed away, man. And shout out to all the ones that's living and everything. But dude, we was a family. We ain't play no. That was my mother and father, so I ain't want to do nothing wrong because they might tell my mother and father, "Do you know what Michael did?" Nah. It's a family. But anyway, so Tanya had a strong backbone behind her. Is my point I'm trying to make. So I remember we was at a show. She did a concert, and I think this was right. I want to say right before she got signed to Bad Boy. She was hot. The album is out, and Through the Rain. We in DC, some little because I'm not gonna say their name anyway because I don't remember their name. These promoters booked her, and the first thing, anytime Tanya had something, she would go to Kevin, and they would sit down and talk about how we should do this. So the promoters, I don't know how much money was involved, but they did the deal and everything. Now it's time, day of the show. We there, we setting up. I'm one of the sound men, making sure the mic is right and all this type of stuff. And Tanya didn't get paid. So the promoter giving you every excuse in the world. Yeah, this is a shame. So next thing you know, Tanya's like, "What? These people came to see me." And, you have, I guess you got the angel and you got the devil on one shoulder. So one side is saying, the angel is saying, you need to go out there and say something. These people paid their money to come see you, but the promoter don't have enough money to pay for the sound system, pay for the place, the marketing, promote, and everything, and then pay the artist. So he don't have enough money to pay the artist. And he did this a couple of times because now the artist is like stuck between a rock and a hard place. What do you do in this situation? What do you do? Man, you ain't paying my money. I ain't performing. These are your fans out there. These are your fans. What would you do? These people paid their money to come see you and you ain't gonna perform? They don't know nothing about all this stuff. Only, man, forget her. I ain't supporting her. People waiting for a chance not to support you. They waiting for that chance. So Tanya looks at Kevin and Tanya looks at us and says, "What should I do?" Kevin said, "These are your fans. You need to go out there and at least say something to them." And I was like, I think me and the other guy, the other producer, man, I go out there and I just tell them, I tell her like it is and tell them what going down. Look here, y'all. So she went out there and the crowd went off. I didn't even know it was that many people in the place to make that type of noise. Yeah. So it was, because it took so long for her to come out, and then it wasn't like it was her only on the show. It was her and some other people, and other people was like, "Man, forget that, man. We walking off." They ain't say nothing to their crowd or the crowd or anything, but because Tanya went out there and said something to them, she went higher, and they was applauding. And they said, "Y'all, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I love y'all to death." And she sung a little bit. She sung a little bit of the song, just a little bit. She didn't do a show. She said, "I'm so sorry, but my managers and everybody saying that I can't perform because we didn't get paid." I mean, she said it just like that. She said, she dibbled and because we didn't get paid. Now, I love you guys. That's why I came out here to say something to y'all, because this is not my fault. I want to sing for y'all. That's how she kind of did it. And I'm kind of that's not the exact words or however, but as she was talking, she started singing what she was saying. And next thing you know, oh my goodness, man, it was going off. I was stuck. I was like, man. And every time we did a news thing, man. And I remember getting up like 4 o'clock in the morning, and before the sun came up, we out there with the news truck running the wires into the studio so they can connect, and the cameras and all that stuff. Yeah. And Tanya was so nervous, but when the cameras come on or when she hit that stage, she was locked. And then when the cameras went off, she just like, and cut. Oh Lord Jesus, did I do good? How did I do? And I was like, girl, you was amazing. She was always amazing. She would nail it and nail it and nail it. And she was never, ever pressed for the fancy cars, the jewelry, the fame and all that. She was never like that. I just want to let y'all know that. She just wanted to get on stage and sing and be happy, man. And it's a shame that people that have that talent and she can write. Oh my God. Can you imagine you saying to your husband, just give me 5 minutes and I will change your mind? And then she wrote a song about it. I want to hear the song. I haven't heard it. Look here, I'm going to get on up out of here before I cry. Thank y'all so much, man. Also, if you made it to the end, let me know by saying I'm an ender. I am an ender. If you put that in the comments, then I know you made it to the end, and I thank you. Tanya thanks you and everything, man. And I'm trying to tell a story as best I can the way I remembered it. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.